Hey lads, lassies, guys and gals, welcome to Princess Evangile. Before I start the video, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Mr. Tanion for mentioning me in one of his videos, his first visual novel video. And as he mentioned, it was my birthday recently, and this is one of the games I got for it, because I really wanted to make videos on this. So, let's get this started. Cold Weather Rendezvous, Chapter 0. This has like voice acting for like the females mainly, but the main character, Messiah, doesn't have a voice, so I'm gonna have to do that. Phew. I breathed into my hands. It was cold. Damn! It's cold out here. It's embarrassing. The sun had set, and it was so cold I had a hard time believing that school was starting soon. Of course, the state of my wallet was probably affecting my perception of the weather, as was my lack of a place to go. Someone listen. Phew. This time we sighed. Oh, called it! The full moon hung heavily over me. My name is Okanogi Messiah, and the cold I felt ran deep. Oh, quite like to mention quickly, a lot of place names are in Japanese, and okay, I may be learning Japanese, but I will screw up pronunciation a lot. ... My story started the day before. I'm tired. As usual, I returned to my apartment after work. Even though I was home, there was nothing fun to do there but stare at my father's face. Not creepy in the slightest. I was back in my hometown for the first time in a year. I thought about rounding up with my friends at karaoke, but I don't think I could see them now. Besides, I was broke. The apartment we were in now didn't require a finder's fee or a security deposit, but we had to pay the first 3 months' rent in advance. That had wiped out what little savings I had. But running away with nothing but the clothes on our backs definitely saved a lot of moving expenses. However, no matter how much you save, it costs money to start a new life. I'd always been poor, and now I was on the verge of being penniless. I'm only just starting my job, and I don't get paid until the 20th of next month. What was I going to do until then? My anxious thoughts swirled around in my head, but I forced myself to stop. It was pointless to focus on the negative. Fine, I'll just go to sleep. Possibly due to my numerous part-time jobs, I hadn't had any time to sleep lately. Even though one of my redeeming features had always been taking care of myself enough not to get sick, I mounted the old rusty stairs and felt like... Just gonna quickly be quiet, as you heard there were stairs in the background. I mounted the old rusted stairs that felt like they would give way with every step. My old man and I were holed up in a room on the 2nd floor, so I'm guessing up there. And home? I'm home! I guess he's not here. Those mob guys must have been back. Dad spent most of his time lazing around the house or fleeing from loan sharks. Of course, I told him to get a job a number of times. When I did, he gave me this strange little smile and say,
ごめんね、マサヤ君。父さん、箸より重たいものを持ったことがないんだ。
I'm not going to read their lines after they're finished, because I'm pretty sure you can read that yourself. Don't want to seem rude. He was really hopeless. I turned on the lights. There was a scrap of paper and an envelope on the table. I checked the paper first. It was my old man's handwriting, written on dollar store memo paper.
生活に疲れました。父さんは旅に出ます。
Okay, he's finished. Of course. I let out a sigh, then threw the note in the trash can. I put my hands to my chest. Compared to the sadness I experienced when my mother left, all I could feel now was relief. I glanced around the room and noticed what few belongings my dad had were now gone. My old man really had left me. Excuse me. In any case, he had never contributed to our living expenses. Him being gone wasn't an issue. In fact, it might make things easier. What's this envelope? Sorry. What's this envelope? A farewell gift? Huh. But I don't think he's got any money. If he did, he wouldn't give it to me. There were 2 sheets of paper inside his envelope. As I expected, it wasn't a farewell gift at all. There was something written on them. I wondered why he'd kept the separate from the memo, though.
ところで、父さんたちが抱えていた借金ですが、
We owe? I'm pretty sure those debts are all yours.
この機会に、マサヤくんに一本化してきました。
That old bastard. Huh?
同封した紙は、例の極悪組への証文です。マサヤくんが寝ている間に母印を押しておきました。てへ。マサヤくん、よく寝ていたな。きっとバイトの疲れが溜まっているんでしょうね。バイトなんかはそこそこにして体には気をつけるんだぞ。お前の父さんより。
He's finished. The next thing I knew, I'd crumpled up the paper in my hand. I looked down at my thumb. So that's why the red stain had... that's where the red stain had come from. That old bastard! 1 year ago, we left the town I'd lived in all my life. Took me a while. Apparently life had been falling apart for as long as I could remember. All because my father was a dead man. My mother had given up on him a long time. Given up on him long ago. But I didn't want to leave him until I'd reached a certain point in my life. And on the evening of my 10th birthday, she brought me to the park and said,
母さんね、お前が10歳になるまでは待とうと思っていたの。
For what?
離婚を。離婚の意味はわかるわね。
Yes?
10歳になれば、ある程度の分別も身につくわ。母さん、マサヤには、父さんと別れることも仕方のないことだと分かってほしかったの。こんなのは、親の勝手な言い草に過ぎないんでしょうけれど。
You're not really making excuses. I shook my head. Even as a child, I understood that my parents couldn't stay together anymore.
そう。ありがとう。マサヤは優しいわね。
In the cold light of the street lamps, it seemed she was smiling for the first time.
じゃあマサヤ、友達とお別れする時間もなくて申し訳ないけれど、早速家を出るわよ。
Right now?
ええ。父さんと話し合いなんかしたら、きっと引き止められるに決まっている。そして、あの人のペースに巻き込まれてしまう。口のうまさに関しては天才的なんだから。母さんね、もう話し合いもしたくないの。離婚届に判をついて置いておくわ。行き先ももちろん知らせない。マサヤが大人になった時は、たまには顔を合わせるのもいいでしょう。けれど。
Oops, didn't mean to interrupt her.
さあ、行きましょう。荷物は少しずつまとめてあったの。あの人が帰らないうちに出ていくわよ。
My mother's eyes opened wide as she looked at me. To her it was as if her son had started speaking an alien language. In my childish way, I explained to her that I felt like I couldn't just abandon my father. Mum would be fine on her own, but Dad wouldn't. That was the conclusion I had reached, which was why I couldn't go along with my mother. Mother was upset, and in the end decided to cancel that day's flight. She spent some time trying to convince me, but in the end she was the one who gave up.
わかったわ。
She left the house alone, promising to stay in contact with me. I could still clearly see the image of my mother walking off into the rainy night. Farmer Martin? In the end, my mum was right. I looked down at the crumpled paper in my hand. Now that I knew how the world worked, I realized Dad would have turned out this way wherever I'd been here or not. What am I going to do about this? My thumbprint was on the loan. The interest rate was 30% every 10 days. 30%. Like this had no legal merits, but I doubted that logic was going to appease those two. My father's one redeeming feature was what my mother once called his genius way of talking around people. He managed to hold off even the most fearsome loan sharks in the Slovak manner possible. Until last year, we had somehow managed to keep up. The debts got too big, and my old man broke under the pressure. And that's when we ran away. Damn, I should have just stayed in Surugaoka. Back then, a part of me still felt sorry for him. I'd also just graduated from my old school. That sense of finality? Yeah. Might have had some influence on my actions. I graduated, then fled to an unfamiliar land and enrolled in school there. I started to think that the loan sharks had given up and we'd made a clean break when suddenly the local mafia came calling. Mafia. Yeah. How badly in debt did you get? Rhymes. I screamed at him, but my father just gave me that little smile and shook his head.
どうやら債権が渡ったようなんだよ。
My father's skill as a hustler had made the situation even worse. Unable to get around his skilled way before the creditors had sold his loan to the mafia. Of course, he used to collect their debt on a completely different scale. Dad filled the old, but it means he only bought it naive. And now we had once again returned to Surugaoka.
やっぱり生まれ故郷が一番だもんね。
I was mad about the short notice as usual, but I couldn't say I wasn't glad to. I just finished my first year at school, so it was a good time to transfer. The problem was that since he never earned any money and the loan wasn't going to just disappear. This time I didn't even have a chance to catch my breath. A new creditor would come calling soon. That was the good news. Their efforts to collect were much more violent. Excuse me. I had known we couldn't keep up this life much longer, but still. I never thought it would end like this. I was finally ready to abandon my old man in my heart, who was no longer my father. From From now on, I would call him the... And I'm not allowed to swear, so I can't say that. But even so, what was I going to do? The past of the long sharks or the mob gang approached me, went to the... and that would be that. On a few occasions, they've gone after me if I could admit that they'll help me out. And now he was gone, having to deal with it on my own this time. Me, an average student, and like him, I know I couldn't talk my way out of it. What do I do now? I sat me down with a worn out tanion mat. I had to run away, but where? I've already spent all my money on rent. I felt like all the shrimp was leaving my body. As you heard, knocking? Just then, there was a rapid knocking on the door. I felt my limp body tense up instantly. That face. Whoa. Such amazing acting. I thought I could pretend I wasn't home, but the door was so thin that they could easily break it down. Each kick caused the door to rattle. It really did look as if it was going to break inward. I quickly moved to the back of the room, opened the closet door and squeezed into it, taking the cupboard. Closing the door didn't block out much sound, but it cut off most of the light and left me in the dark. I couldn't bring this out by hiding in the closet. I stood up, leaned forward, and looked at the ceiling board above me. I lifted it up and set it aside. Ugh. Wishing the urge to cough from the dust, I pulled myself up above the ceiling. I heard the sound of the door breaking down, just as I got the board back into place.
Huh?
That phase. There was crawl space in the ceiling, and despite it being a tight fit, I managed to make it through. From there, I made it outside, climbed down the rain gutter, and ran off at full speed.
親父、どうもイルスじゃなかったみたいですね。
By the way, blue boxes mean that it's like outside the perspective of the main character, which is what this says here. Let me read that quickly. Okay.
押し入れにもいねえや。つあのガキ、金もねえくせにどっかで遊んでいやがるのか？
おう、見ろ、清。
Kyoshi is him. That's just the boss.
え？
あの野郎の書き置きが残ってる。
書き置き？
あの野郎ももうおしめえだな。借金の方に、てめえのガキを売る。あいつが売ったのはガキだけじゃねえ。てめえの魂まで売っちまったんだ。
Oh, sick burn.
そうっすね。
Dot dot dot. That was yesterday. I spent almost a full day just wandering around the city. I skipped work today just in case. I didn't want to make trouble for them. Calling an absent right after I start. If this continued, I'd be fired after 3 days. If I didn't get my first month's pay, all the work I'd done would be for nothing. I was starting to miss that rundown apartment. At least I had a ceiling and floor. I didn't want to sleep on the street. I was tired to begin with and napped on a park bench for a while, but now I was just exhausted. I'll end up dying in the streets at this rate. The fact that I wasn't joking just showed just how grave my situation was. I checked the contents of my wallet again. 100 yen coins, 1. 10 yen coins, 6. That was all. I had no paper bills, nothing of use. I thought about running to an automatic loan machine, but I knew better than anyone that once you start borrowing money, you never stop. And I wasn't sure if they'd lend money to a student anyway. That's right, all I do about school. How was I going to get any learning done in a situation like this? Due to my unique situation, the school agreed to defer my tuition payment, but there was no way I could pay it with the guns left me. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how badly I was trapped. I hung my head in the middle of the street. Somewhere inside me I knew that there was no way out. Although the hunger, cold and exhaustion made it hard to get my thoughts together, people passed by, shooting me concerned glances. As you can see, the street is packed. But I looked straight ahead and watched them walk by with lonely thoughts in my head. Those people all had homes to return to. Warm houses with families waiting. I didn't have anything. The realization that I was all alone in the world suddenly pierced my mind like an arrow. It wasn't like I wanted to live with that freeloading father of mine. He's crying. Even so, the sudden realization caused my vision to blur. Damn. Every protagonist ever looking up at the sky? I rubbed my eyes hard. I wasn't alone. My father was. My mother was still out there. My mother had kept in contact with me all this time, but I never tried to see her. That's nasty. She had started a new life in a new place. Perhaps now it was time to impose on family. I heard the sound of footsteps passing by, some moving ahead and some moving behind me. Until yesterday, I had always had some place to go, some place to call home, to. Some place to come home to. Derp. It was all that fault. Damn. If I ever saw him again, I was going to hit him. He's hungry. It occurred to me that I hadn't eaten anything since dinner the night before. 1 pan, so I'm presuming bread since pan is bread, and a can of milk. Some milk. I should eat something. If I ate something, it might put me in a more positive mood. I wasn't sure what I could do to satisfy my stomach with 160 yen. Currently, that's about £1 something. I saw the lights of a convenience store in the corner up ahead. Walked toward it. Just then a figure approached near my feet. Is it a midget? It's a cat. Quite ironic. The scrawny cat with matted fur stared up at me. Normally I wouldn't give a fuck to a stray cat, but what's wrong? You all alone too? Huh. I was so lonely I found myself talking to it. I was talking to a cat. The stray kept its distance, but looked up at me with a surprisingly affectionate meow. Yeah, I'm hungry too. I got a fish sausage, which seemed like the most filling option for my money. I thought the cat would have run off, and I'd eat on my own, but when I came back, it was sitting right where I left it. Guess I don't have much choice. When I removed the packaging, the cat smelled it and walked right up to me. Well, the cat in this meowed as that cat meowed. I broke it in half, stuffed one piece in my mouth, and offered it over to the cat. The cat quickly devoured it, then looked up hungrily at my mouth. Sorry, it's all gone. I don't know how I would do then. Munch munch. When a gust of wind sent a newspaper flying, I suddenly remembered the lottery tickets I'd bought earlier. More precisely, the lottery ticket that the had made me buy. I didn't want to waste our money, but he was so adamant. Is that how you spell it? Yeah. And getting rich quick, he ended up forcing it on me. Now, where did I put it? I know it somewhere. I searched around my trouser pockets, because I'm Scottish, don't say that. I found the worn out ticket. The announcement should be today, and the newspaper probably had those results. I picked it up and walked over to one of the street lamps. Just then, an unpleasant sight met my eyes. What's going on? I was too far away to hear what they were saying, but it was clearly an argument of some kind. People passing by seemed too afraid to get involved, and just sped off as they passed. Terrifyingly. Considering I know where this goes. There's only one real option there. What are you doing? I'm not shouting. Okay, now. Most people would get involved in that. The whole group turned my way. Just then, the girl escaped from the grass and ran towards me. See that? I turned boldly towards those two attackers and hit the girl behind her back. One of them advanced on me, acting as a representative. There you go.
何者です。
Manny. Hint, hint. And long hair. He's got an awfully high-pitched voice. It doesn't matter who I am. What are you doing?
あなたには関係のないことです。さあ、その子をお渡しなさい。
Despite saying please, the glint in his eye, and quietly imposing presence told me that these people would give the goons a run for the money. Just who are these people? Their stances left no openings. Good martial arts, so we're concerned. Who was this girl? Why were these people after her? Glanced back and found her glaring at the elusive figures from over my shoulder.
聞かないのですか？
Huh?
聞かないのですかと聞いている。
can walk away now. Putting the girl in my body gradually began to draw back. Closer to trigger fingers to the gesture, without a sound. He closed the distance and reached for me. He's fast. You know, so smoothly. He clearly wasn't your standard ruffian? Yeah. His hand slipped past me, reaching for the girl's arm instead. They didn't seem to want to use violence, but I reflexively struck out with my hand. Hmm? No, you can read that line, I'm too embarrassed to say it. Huh?
この痴漢め
Sorry, I didn't mean to. This. Hard to explain. Saya, your protagonist. Girl is hiding behind him, who thinks that's a guy. Hint, hint. You're stopping someone from fighting Virgie. Most people do that. Hand was lower. Quite obvious what he was accused of there. Didn't even get out my apology before my opponent slipped into his stance.
は
Oh no! This time her fist was aimed directly at my face. Quickly dropped down, the punch just barely missed me. I could feel it tearing through the air above my head.
何
Just not a punch, not as it felt. It was a total coincidence that punch missed me, but the woman, yes, I finally realized, seemed to be in shock. The referee, who had previously been watching the dance, stalking towards us. They seemed to radiate anger from every pore. This is good. My presence seemed to have escalated the situation to a new level of hostility. I'm sorry, I really am. I held up my hand apologetically, but it was clear that the situation was far beyond civil. One of the suits rushed towards, tensed up, determined to protect the girl behind me. Rarely had any strength from the start, and I preferred for what was coming on yet. Blue suited figure just reached me when she suddenly tripped and lost her balance. And all of a sudden fighting the cat. The cat from before. Ain't the dead here with me? Thanks to the cat, suit went to the friends quickly moved to help her up. Took the tug on my right hand and turned around.
今のうちだわ
Right. Our footsteps sprang off into the night. We started running, zigzagging down the streets until the footsteps of our pursuers died down behind us. I really don't want to do the sound effects. Maybe it was a hunger, but I quickly ran out of breath. The girl seemed to be having trouble breathing too, so I slowed down and Turn to face her. Right there. I'm not doing the sound effects. There were so many things I wanted to ask her, but right now, both of us need to catch our breaths. Phew. Sorry. Phew. My body wasn't ready to move so much. My head spinning. Normally it wouldn't be so bad. Gym was actually one of my best subjects. She took a deep breath and turned to face me.
ありがとう。とても助かりました。
No bar. Huh? Won't I saw her? The moment I saw her straight on for the first time, it's like something snapped inside my brain. Flashback.
ごめんなさい。
Huh? She seemed to mistake my surprise for something else. She released my hand, her face flushed. That's right. You can hold my hand like this time. She's just holding my hand, it's not that bad. Felt my face grow hot. That was the first time I'd ever held hands with a girl before. Besides, I'm not saying that. I've never seen anyone so... Never seen anyone so beautiful. Not even on TV. I'm gonna drink. She averted her eyes and she blushed and withdrew her handkerchief from her pocket.
汗かいちゃった。
These are so bad lines. I couldn't take my eyes off her as she wiped the sweat from her brow. Even that was beautiful.
お使いになる？
Like face Batman, seriously. Oh, she'd gotten the wrong idea again. Regardless, I found my hand moving to take it. Are you sure?
何が？
Oh well. I need to take a bath for the night. Tried to remain calm as if I was the pleasant smell of hair to the white face.
それにしてもさっきは驚いたわ。あなた何かやっていらっしゃるの？
One person has to ask her name. What do I want?
武道とかあの人の月をかわしたでしょ？
Nothing in particular. Just got lucky.
そう。でもあの人たち専門の訓練を積んでいるし、きっと運動神経に優れていらっしゃるんでしょうね。
From the sound of it, she was familiar with those people. I asked her about that point, and she responded with vague affirmation.
まあ、知っているといえば知っているわ。
It's sad, I struggle on the difficult names, but sorry, on the simple words, but as soon as they're difficult, I don't really struggle. Rather than pushing the matter any further, I fell silent and quickly offered the handkerchief back to her. Thank you. The handkerchief returned. I had run out of things to talk about. What was that strange feeling I had earlier? That strange sensation I felt when I got a clear look at her face for the first time. Very poetic line here. It was like a momentary ripple on the still water of my mouth.
なら
I can feel my ears burning with embarrassment. The laugh didn't seem malicious. I actually welcomed it. I felt revived and turned back with a bright smile on my lips. Lies. I'm on a bit of a diet right now.
ダイエット？男の人でもそういうことするのかしら？
Diet? Oh well, I think they do. Fat people and such.
なるほど。肥満は男性女性関係ないわよね。でもあんたは。
She took a moment to inspect me from head to toe.
ダイエットなんかする必要はないと思うけれど。
Diet? I'm not gonna get past that one. That is true. Awkward little laugh.
それに、ほら、話している間にもお腹がギュウギュウなっているじゃないの。やりすぎは良くないんじゃなくて？
Right.
そうだ。
She smiled suddenly, as if she was coming up with a good idea.
私も夕飯はまだなの。よかったらご一緒しましょうよ。
What?
あと、ちょっとお話ししたいこともあるし、いかがかしら？
She tried to pick me up. So awkward. That couldn't be it. She didn't seem like the type to pick up right away. Oh, the reverse was surely common.
さあ、行きましょうよ。
The girl began walking promptly. I spoke up self-consciously. The girl turned back, an anxious expression on her face.
ダメかしら？この後、何か用事でも？
Guilt trip. No, it isn't that. I don't have any money.
何？
Spoken so softly, she didn't hear me. I spoke again, louder this time. I don't have any money. I mean, haven't got paid for my job yet.
ああ、そういうこと。
She gave me the same easy smile as before.
もちろん、私が出させていただくわ。さっきのお礼に。
Are you sure? Really?
ええ、今のお話を伺う前から、私はそのつもりでいてよ。だって。私、本当に感したんですもの。
Oh, and they did. I did believe one.
あの辺り、仕事帰りなのか結構人の通りは多かったわ。けれど、通る人来る人、みんな知らんぷりばかり。それは、揉め事に巻き込まれたくないって気持ちは、私にも想像はつきます。けれど私は助けを求めていて、なのにみんな、見えないふり聞こえないふりばっかりだった。それはやっぱり、私にとっては残念なことで。けれど、あなたは来てくれた。向こうは4人もいたというのに、たった1人で。あなたが助けに入ってくれて、私本当に嬉しかったの。いくら感謝してもし足りないという気持ち。私は、あなたの勇気を尊いものだと思います。
Oh. Never received such a straight, honest compliment. Felt a tightness in my chest and an inexplicable heat filling my cheeks. At the time, her cheeks turned bright, and she slumped over a little. Maybe she was the bashful type too.
さあ、行きましょう。こっちに来た時、必ず行くお気に入りのお店があるの。そこに案内して差し上げるわ。
Sure.
私は老船員リセ。
English rise, Japanese greasy. As I went through our introductions, I was hoping she would say something that would trigger a memory, but nothing came. It was an unusual name. Which was gorgeous. I'm sure I would remember her. Maybe I made a mistake before. I'm Okunogi Masaya.
おこのぎまさやさんね。よろしく。
Likewise. She didn't seem to recognize the name, so this was definitely her first time meeting. By the way, there's something I've been wondering. We're heading for the shops around the station.
ええ、それが
Those entrance. Are you sure those people won't murder you? They must be searching for you by now.
その前に、私のことはリセで結構よ。その代わり私もあさやさんって呼ばせていただくわ。
Right. I know only one girl who would let me address her by her given name. Calling childhood friend. To address, say, by her first name after we just met made me hesitant and self-conscious. However, she seemed to think it was completely natural.
それで今のまさやさんの疑問だけど、本来であればもちろん見つからないようにこうしないといけないわ。けれど今はもう半分は目的を達したようなものだから、だから最悪見つかっても構わないの。
What goal might this be? What? Halfway to your goal?
それは食べながら話をさせていただくわ。というか、むしろまさやさんに聞いていただくという言い方の方が正しいでしょうけれど、いいかしら。
Sure.
ごめんなさいね。中身も言わないうちにこんな言い方して、あなたとし
Oops. Oh well. But she said she wanted to speak to me. I guess she wasn't just making a pass after all. Sounded serious based on the way she was speaking. But we don't just met. What could she possibly want to talk to me about? Well, I'll find out soon enough. You notice that you speak very politely, Rusi-san.
あら、そう？
She seemed surprised by that. She wasn't even aware of it. She must have been born into it.
変な風に聞こえたらして。子供の頃からこういう喋り方だから。
Yeah, it's okay. Shook her head quickly. It didn't mean that it was a bad thing. It's just something I noticed.
けど、
Something I'd say.
周りの人からすると確かにキーに思える喋り方なんでしょうね。
She's very serious about it. Reflective, even. Anyway, do you mind explaining what happened earlier while we eat?
ええ、そのつもり。
Yeah. I see. I think that'll do us first episode. But that was the first episode of Princess Evangile. And again, thank you, Mr. Tanion, for mentioning my video.